What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. The NBA preseason is finally here, which means the regular season is right around the corner, so it's exciting times right now. Of course, I also hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. Forgot to mention that as well. But today I wanted to come on to 2K25 here for another rebuild, as today we're going to be doing the Toronto Raptors. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. Currently, we're on the road to 50,000 subs. You want to help me reach that goal? That would be amazing. But let's talk about the Toronto Raptors for a second, because of course this team is in the midst of kind of a rebuild slash retool mode. They don't have like a super young roster. They kind of have like the, kind of guys around 25 years old and such. Like Barnes are 23, Quickley at 25, re-signed. You got RJ Barrett, who's locked up for a few years as well. Still have Jakob Poeltl, still have Kelly Olynyk. There's still a lot to like about this Raptors roster. I won't say that they can't be a playoff team, but I do think they have the possibility of being a play-in team, potentially a playoff team. But the East, of course, is going to be a little bit tough if I had to guess. Let's take a look at the rotation, though. So it's Quickley, Grady Dick, RJ, Barnes, Jakob Poeltl. To me, that makes a lot of sense. As a starting five, you have Olynyk, you have Bruce Brown, you have Chris Boucher, and you have Ochai Agbaji, and then Davion Mitchell as well. So, of course, the one key factor here is at the deadline, what do they do with Bruce Brown? Because they got him in the trade, of course, from the Pacers in the Siakam trade. And he is one of those players that I think a lot of teams would love to have around the league. He's still making like $23 million. Of course, the Pacers gave him an absolute bag to steal him from Denver. They trade him to get Siakam, and now you have him in Toronto. So I do believe, based off what Toronto is doing at the deadline, if they're good or they're bad or whatever it may be, I do believe you'll see a Bruce Brown trade. So I think that's where we should start in this video. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to wait to the trade deadline, see how we're doing, and then we'll, based off how we are doing, we can trade away Bruce Brown. But one thing I do want to look at is shot tendencies, because I feel like Barnes' shot tendency is always super disrespectful. He's the best player on the team. This man needs to take the shots. Let's go ahead, push that up. On that, let's simulate year one. Today's video is brought to you by two softwares designed to help you beat the sports books and become a much profitable sports bettor. We're starting on Daily Grind Fantasy's Optimizer. So if you play on apps such as PrizePicks, Underdog, or any of these popular DFS apps nowadays, having a tool like this is insanely awesome to have. As you can see, you do have some value on the board. There's some NBA preseason value, but I will say it is a one-to-one comparison to Underdog, so it's not the best example in my opinion. I wouldn't recommend playing on preseason. That's not something I would get down on, but you do have some value here. If you really want to do a one-to-one comparison with Underdog to PrizePicks, you could take the under on Underdog, and then PrizePicks, you could take the over at 6.5. And then, hey, if you get 7 exactly, you would win on both sides, which would be really cool. You'd be surprised how many times that could actually happen. So yeah, other than that, not a whole lot of value going on. You do have obviously the MLB playoffs going right now. So you got Aaron Nola under 5.5 strikeouts going up against the Mets. That series has been electric so far. And then if we go to OddsJam's positive EV tool as well, as you can see, we have some value popping up for Monday Night Football. So we have Xavier Worthy under 3.5 receptions over on Flip at plus money. As you can see, every other book is offering you, I guess Pinnacle is at plus 103 as well. But other than that, you got FanDuel at minus 120, and you got DraftKings at minus 115, BetMGM at minus 110, and DraftKings and FanDuel are known to be pretty sharp on player props, so that's a great bet. And then on, you got Dabble with Foster Moreau under 1.5 receptions. You got DraftKings at minus 145 and FanDuel at minus 146. Clear value here over on Dabble, so we love those two plays. And last but certainly not least, make sure to check out PrizePicks as well. They match first positive dollar for dollar up to $100. The way it works, you choose between 2 to 6 players across any sports, and you just place an entry, and you watch your earnings just stack up, man. If you wanted to go ahead and take the over on Mahomes and over on Olave, boom. You three extra money, although we're getting a little bit of a payout shift here. Not sure why, because those guys aren't on the same team, but whatever. Make sure to check out PrizePicks, like I said, and these two softwares. Links are down in the description below. Use code Crushables for percentages off your first month on OddsJam and Daily Grind Fantasy. And on PrizePicks, match first positive dollar for dollar up to 100. Other than that, let's go trade Bruce Brown. I decided Bruce Brown a small forward just to get some good offers in the trade finder. We have two good ones. So we got the Spurs offering me a first round pick, and we also have Miami offering me a first round pick as well. I feel like I do this one by default all the time though, just because Robinson's contract is obviously not great and it matches quite a bit of salaries. So I'm going to switch it up and do this one with the Spurs, where we get a first round pick swap in 2028. We get Barnes' bad contract, which really sucks. Robinson's contract isn't great either, to be honest with you, though. It doesn't really matter. We're kind of in a rebuild mode, like I said, but we're getting a first round pick for Bruce Brown. And maybe the Spurs are on the run to make the playoffs right now, and they add a key veteran in Bruce Brown to out of that team. So we'll go ahead and do this trade. And then we also could potentially look at trading Kelly Olynyk. I do believe he would have some value as well. Didn't really think about it beforehand, but now that I see him here, you know, he's got 2 years left his contract. Would be a really good backup 5 to have anywhere. And I do believe he could be worth a protected first if someone is willing to offer it. So we have some seconds popping up, but no first just yet. A trade exception. You got another second. You got another trade exception. Another second. So maybe we don't get what we're looking for here and we just hold on to Kelly Olynyk for now, which is what we'll probably do. I don't really like any of these offers. So we trade Bruce Brown for a first round pick, which is what we wanted to accomplish. So that is done. We'll go ahead and keep simulating with the way things are right now. So Barnes will replace, of course, Bruce Brown in the rotation. He'll play a little bit. We're running 11 deep, and we're leaving some of the young guns out, like Jacoby Walter and Jamal Shed, which is fine. But let's go ahead and keep simulating, and let's see how this team finishes out. And hopefully we can... I mean, right now we're technically a play-in team. I don't know if we'll finish that way, but it is cool to see that as of right now. At the end of year 1, Luka wins MVP, Zachary Shea Rookie of the Year, Amon Thompson 6th Man, Victor Wembanyama Defensive Player, Cade Most Improved, and Nikola Jokic Clutch Player, and Jason Kidd is your Coach of the Year. So here's your All-NBA First Team, All-NBA Second Team, and All-NBA Third Team. So unfortunately for us, do we get Barnes to make one of these? I don't see him, so no. None of that, unfortunately, at least not yet. And here are your player stats. So we did actually end up as a play-in team. So we're the 9th seed in the Eastern Conference going up against Detroit. So boosting up Barnes shots in C probably helped us out quite a bit with making the play-in. With 21 from Barnes, 18 from RJ, 15 from Quickley, 9 from Olynyk, 8.5 from Grady Dick, 8 from Barnes, and then 8 from Jakob Poeltl, 7 from Boucher, and then Fernando with 5 or whatever, and Noshai Badji with 4. Still listed at power forward. I really need to change that, so we'll do that in a second. I did decide to extend Davion Mitchell. He's dirt cheap, and there's a potential he develops. He used to do that in 2K. I don't know if he still will, but we'll find out. So now we get Detroit. I do think it's safe to say we should probably go away from 11 man at this point and go to quite a bit of a 9-man rotation for these playoffs and kind of seeing if we can make it into the playoffs. That'd be kind of cool. Don't know if we will be able to or not. We're going to be at home this one against Detroit just to get in the second leg. Detroit's giving us some issues here, but it looks like we have taken the lead. They take it back. If we find ourselves in the lottery, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. So we are going to get eliminated by Detroit. But hey, I guess we got here and we lose to the Pistons. So shout out to the Pistons for beating us. And now we're going to see who wins the finals. It is going to be the Pacers and the Wolves. It's going to be the Timberwolves going on to win a championship. Anthony Edwards gets it done with Randall after they trade away Karl Anthony Towns. Okay. Here are your retirements. Quite a bit of some important ones, as you saw. Let's go to the lottery. So I do believe, don't the Raptors have like a protected pick this season or something? No, it's not showing that. So maybe they just have their pick straight up and pick 11. So hopefully, you know, we get lucky. I doubt it. You know, it kind of sucks to have been decent and not have a higher pick in this draft because obviously this class is considered to be very, very good. But unfortunately for us, you know, that didn't really work out. But maybe we watch this bad boy, we get some luck, and maybe we jump up like crazy. That'd be kind of cool. So the Grizzlies are going to be at 12, and they're going to stay at 12. So here is the moment of truth. Do we jump up into the top 4? That would be really cool, but I doubt it. It's going to be a tough, and we don't. So we don't jump up, unfortunately. So Chicago gets 1, Jazz via Cleveland from the, obviously, Donovan Mitchell trade. Wow, and the Hornets number 2. So shout out to the Jazz because they're reaping the benefits of that trade right now. But you got Darko as the head coach. Won't move on from him. Let's go to draft night. So despite not having like a top 5 pick, we'll have 11th overall picks. We still could get somebody good here. Draft class is a really good draft class. There's no one here I'm like looking to trade on draft night. So let's just simply jump in and see we're going to get 11. So one's going to go Cooper Flag to Chicago. That'd be massive. Dylan Harper to Charlotte. So more another point guard in Charlotte. Ace Bailey goes to Utah. You're going to have Nolan Chiori to New Orleans. We got the center. I can never realize how to pronounce his name. VJ Edgecombe to Houston. Carter Bryant to Utah. So Jazz had 2 top 10 picks. I didn't even notice that. Hugo to Portland. Would have been nice to have him here. Donnie Freeman. And then last but not least is Igor before we pick. Okay, who are we going to take? So we have Trey Johnson. We have Liam. We got Jalil Bethea. We got Noah. I don't know how to say his name. But we also have Dink down here as well. So a lot of different ways we can go about this. We can go Trey Johnson here. Hall of Fame ceiling. We got Liam, All-NBA. We could take Michael. We could take Jaleel. But to me, I think the best player to possibly take, and I've taken Dink in a video before. Ian Jackson looks solid as well. But I think I'll take Trey Johnson here. Ceiling, Hall of Fame, floor, Lonnie Walker. So worst case scenario, he becomes the starter for us. And he could low-key come in and start right away on this team, in my opinion. I like Grady Dick isn't like sealed by any means. Like, I don't mind if he plays at the starting position, but I think getting Trey Johnson there was pretty solid. I wouldn't have minded Ian Jackson either, but I do like the Trey Johnson pick. So welcome to Toronto, Trey Johnson. Player options, we got Oshai Abaji, which I'll accept as well. Qualifying offers, Chomchi, and then DJ Carton, and then free agency. So let's go see what we got going on here. So in free agency, we got Boucher, Fernando, and Rodin as free agents. I'm not concerned about any of them, to be completely transparent with you. Boucher, I know he's been in the Raptors for a while, but I don't think we really necessarily need him back. But let's see what else we got going on out here. So we got Quickley and Davion Mitchell. So I re-signed Davion Mitchell in hopes that he would progress into like a 76, 77. So that's what I'll bank on. And then shooting guard, we just drafted Trey Johnson. So him and Grady Dick can figure that out there. Barnes is our small forward right now, but that's not really going to stick. And then Abaji, let me just go ahead and get this out of the way right now. Let's just move him back to small forward. He goes up to a 76. So he's going to be the backup other than Barnes, which we could technically move Barnes to power forward as well. He's going to be out of the rotation this season anyway. He's probably about to regress like crazy. So I'm fine with moving Barnes to power forward. And then here's our center rotation right now. I'm really not committed to either Pirtle or Olynyk going forward. I was trying to trade Olynyk at the deadline. It didn't really work out. So we'll see what free agency has in store for us. Let's see if there's like any centers that are interesting. So you do have Isaiah Jackson here, but he's not going to be a guy that becomes like a starting center. I do kind of like the idea of going for Jalen Williams, though. He's unrestricted here, and he doesn't want a lot of money. So what we could do is or Daron Sharp is here as restricted. But I think what I might do is I'm going to give Jalen Williams a contract, which it looks like he just got waived. So let's see if he'll accept our offer. He does. So we're going to get Jalen Williams, and that's going to make Kelly Olynyk more expendable, which I'm totally down with. I wanted to trade him anyway. We could re-sign Bruce Brown again. We do have Moses Moody here, which is interesting, but we do have a Baji there right now. Kispert would be cool. Power forwards. We got Achua, who we could bring back to Toronto. Got like Bol down here. Or Peyton Watson's kind of cool. Kind of a nice little get if we wanted to go get him as well, which I actually might go for that. But let's go trade Olynyk right now. Let's see what Olynyk would land us. I'm fine with a couple seconds, a first, or maybe a young player in return or whatever. I don't know. So Clark in a second is interesting. Kobe Buffkin from Atlanta is interesting as well. We could swap, and you got Herder and center. A first-round pick from the Lakers and Gabe Vincent. I mean, the Mavericks give me one of their worst first, and then Brooklyn. What else we got? Trey Murphy. Pistons give me 2 firsts. I think that's a little rich. And then Kyle Anderson in a second. Okay, so I do believe I'm not going to stretch it out to Olynyk's worth of first, but I think 2 seconds isn't bad. So maybe they do give me slow-mo. I don't know if they'll do the 2 seconds. They do. So we get slow-mo, who won't really play for us in my opinion, but we get the 2 seconds for Olynyk. We give Jalen Williams the backup 5 spot. So I'm down for that. So that was our offseason. Nothing spectacular. I do believe there isn't a window to maybe trade away Jakob Poeltl at the deadline. Potentially, we'll see. But I'm curious to see what player progression looks like. So Barnes is up to an 88, 83 RJ, 81 Jakob Poeltl. Quickley went down. Wow, that is not good. So Quickley, to me, no pun intended, but he quickly becomes someone we're looking at moving because he's making a ton of money. And if this guy isn't going to develop into a 85 at least, like there's no need to stay committed to him. So he might be a sell piece. We'll see. Grady Dick up to an 80. Mitchell's up to 77 like I thought he would. Joe Williams is up. Shed also went up like crazy as well. So that's interesting. Jacoby Walters up. Yeah, so all around, a lot of development, which is nice, but a lot of different answers or a lot of different questions we got to answer too. So Quickley, Jakob Poeltl are 2 guys that I'm not really sure will stay on this roster going forward, especially if Emmanuel Quickley is going to regress rather than progress, which just isn't going to work if we're going to go try to win a championship eventually. We can't have guys regressing. We need a good roster, all foundations looking good, which just right now with Quickley going down to an 80, he could quickly go down to a 7. I keep saying Quickley, but that's his last name, man. It is. All right, let's go take a look at the rotation. Proficiency is a 3.5, and here is your starting 5. So Emmanuel, Grady Dick, RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, Jakob Poeltl, Davion Mitchell, Jalen Williams, Oshai Abaji, Trey Johnson. So that looks really good to me. So we are still leaving like Jamal Shed and Jacoby Walter out of the rotation right now. We could run a 10-man and get one of them in here, but I do like the rotation right now as is. So I think what we could do at the deadline, we become an interesting squad because we have some young pieces. We have some expiring contracts in Jakob Poeltl. We have Quickley as well. Like there's some things we could do. I may or may not stop at the deadline. I will show you if I do. And it all depends on where we're at record-wise on what direction we take as far as making some kind of trade. So we have stopped at the trade deadline as I promised, and I'm trying to make a move here. We're 28 and 24. I think we're good enough to make a move and try to push ourselves further into contention. And that is what I'm going to try to do here. So I have a couple guys I'm looking at. Let's start with, it was down here, the Blazers. So this one is more unrealistic, but it definitely, I don't know. It's like not crazy, I guess. I wouldn't mind bringing the Toronto kid home. Of course, as a Blazers fan, I love Shaedon Sharpe, but he just got hurt again. The man seems to just, and it really sucks as a Blazers fan to say this, but is he ever going to be fully healthy? I hope so, because the man looks great when he's playing. So maybe that would reduce his trade value a little bit, and the Blazers would be one to give him up. I don't know. Shaedon Sharpe is definitely someone I'm looking at. But the more realistic route, in my opinion, if we go talk to the Miami Heat about Bam Adebayo, we do need a center going forward anyway. Bam is still only 20 years old, so he kind of fits the timeline still a little bit, gives us a little bit of a window with him. Barnes and Bam as a front court sounds amazing. So I kind of like the idea of grabbing Bam Adebayo off Miami. They're selling right now. They don't have Jimmy Butler anymore. So that's where I'm going to start, because I like this idea a little bit more than Shaedon Sharpe. So let's go see what we can get, or if we can make Bam Adebayo happen to Toronto. So Bam Adebayo, unless we got to give up. So I think if we do this, we trade Jakob Poeltl. We're gonna have to give up some young pieces as well. We do have Barnes expiring contract still, so we'll throw that in here. We'll throw we could gamble on our first round pick right now. If we get Bam, I imagine we turn this thing around. We'll trade a 2026 top 3 protected Pacers pick, and then I wouldn't mind throwing like Jamal Shed in here, or one of our young players like Jacoby Walter if we had to, because I don't know if Jacoby Walter will ever get in the rotation with having like Grady Dick and Trey Johnson and all that. So I'll throw Jacoby Walter in here as well, and then you can give me like Pell Larson or whatever, or Bates, who's I guess in the G League. You can give me Rocco, who's obviously a younger or an older veteran. So this is the offer I'm making to Miami for Bam. Let's see what they say, and they do agree. So we get Bam Adebayo pretty easily at the deadline. We got our brand new 5-man and Bam Adebayo, which is nice. So I love that. So Bam, Scotty Barnes, RJ are here to stay. That is the front court going forward. The back court to me still needs some answers, because like I said, Manu Quickley, he went down in overall, which doesn't feel great. I don't know if I'll go after anybody right now. I could try to make, Shaedon Sharpe happen as well, but I think, accomplishing getting Shaedon Sharpe and Bam at about the deadline, or the same deadline, sounds kind of insane. Getting Bam in itself is a little crazy, so I won't go that crazy just yet. We'll go ahead and submit to the offseason, and then we'll address the backcourt in the offseason. But going forward, RJ, Barnes, and Bam are our guys. So those are the guys we're building around, and hopefully that leads to championships eventually. But let's go ahead and keep on simulating. We're 4 games over 500, so obviously we in hopes after adding Bam Adebayo, we can just be a playoff team and not a play-in team. So what we wanted to accomplish, got accomplished. We, instead of being a play-in team, are a straight-up playoff team, so we love that. Here's All-NBA first team, All-NBA second. We do get Scotty Barnes making it, which is lovely. 26 and 8 from him. Love to see that. And here's All-NBA third team. So Bam Adebayo, Scotty Barnes can grab the rock, get some rebounds, which of course, and then all-defensive team for Scotty Barnes as well is fun. So our front court with Bam and Barnes should be able to lock up defensively and get some rebounds, so that is important in 2K, as we all know. But here are your player stats to end the season. So yeah, 26 from Barnes, 20 from RJ, 20 from Bam. So like I said, these are the 3 guys that I'm very happy with going forward. Quickley with 14, 11 from Grady Dick, 10 from Trey Johnson, 7 from Mitchell, and then 6.5 from Williams, and then 6 from Ochai Agbaji. So all around, pretty solid stuff. But now we get Chicago in round 1. So can we win a playoff series after adding Bam? This should be interesting to see. So hopefully we can do just that. Somebody cut around against Chicago. We won game 1, and it's an even series. So let's go to Simcast for game 5, and let's see if we can come out here and win game 5 to take the 3-2 lead here. So we're in Toronto for this one. Hopefully we can take them out. We have the lead right now, and we're going to give more minutes to Barnes in the next series, and we go to OT, a second OT. Oh my, a 4, what the hell is going on? 4 overtimes, bro. I remember when the Portland and Denver. Oh my gosh, was that 6? Am I crazy? How many overtimes was that? I need to watch that back. That was insane. I don't know if it would tell me right here. Let's see. Does it tell me? No. Dude, that was freaking wild. Holy moly. Yeah, that was insane, dude. I don't know how many overtimes that was, but that was actually wild. What's the box score on that? We need to look at that, man. Box score. So 43 from Barnes, 37 from Bam, and 30 from RJ. That was insane. Okay, so that was a massive win there, because we went to like so many overtimes. We won game 6. Yes. Okay, we're on to the second round, and funny enough, we get to play the team that we made the trade with, obviously, the Pacers and Pascal Siakam. So Pascal Siakam, of course, Former Toronto Raptors. So hopefully we could beat them. And we'll see what happens. So Barnes versus Siakam should be interesting. Somebody current round against Indiana. And we are going to be up 3-2 right now. Hold the phone. No way we can get this done in year 2, right? I mean, lately it's been a struggle for me to get to the championship in general. But if we beat the Pacers here, the best team in the East, which we do, and now we get to play Charlotte, and we got Oklahoma, or, not Oklahoma City. I'm just used to saying OKC in the conference finals. But we got Houston and Golden State. We get Charlotte in the conference finals. We got to beat Charlotte first, but here we go. Game 1, 1-0. Game 2, they even it up. Okay, game 3 goes to them. So maybe we're not ready for the moment just yet. Although, to me, Charlotte isn't either. They shouldn't be here. They're not. To me, the Charlotte Hornets don't feel like a contender even close to that. But you could say the same thing about Toronto, I guess. But we are going to even the series, though. So that's massive because we needed that. If we would have lost, we would have been down 3-1. But all right, we go to Charlotte for a game 5, and they're going to blow us out in the first quarter. But maybe we can reduce that in the second. Third quarter, they're going to blow us out. So it looks like they're going to take this one home. All right, back to Toronto we go. Man, I thought this would be kind of the year that maybe we could do it. But Charlotte may have other plans. We have the lead in Toronto here for this massive game 6 to force a game 7. We keep it, and we do. Okay, game 7. Here we go. All or nothing. Game 7 to go on the NBA Finals against Houston. Come on, baby. Come here and just absolutely knock these Hornets down. We need the Toronto Raptors to... Yeah, it's not going to happen. We're going to lose in the conference finals. So, got really excited there. I thought maybe, just maybe, we could go win one right now, and the Rockets going to win it all. So, unfortunately, not the case. But we still got more work to do. I didn't feel like our team was done. To me, I feel like we need a pass-first point guard. We got plenty of scoring, in my opinion. So, if we can find a pass-first point guard, I don't know how much, immediately Lonzo Ball comes to mind, but he might be kind of cooked at this point. So, we'll see. We'll see what's around the league, though. That's kind of my thought process right now. I think we move on from Quickley and get a better point guard. Although, 81 overall is not terrible, but if we get an upgrade, I think that's going to be the key to going on to win it all. We don't have a draft pick. We traded, a couple for, obviously, to go get Bam. And now we're going to player options. So, player options, we got Grady Dick, Jamal Shed. We'll accept both of those. And then Chomchi, Jalen Williams, and Ochai Agbaji. All free agents that I do have interest in bringing back. We'll start with Agbaji, though, who's been here for a little bit now. So, Ochai Agbaji, welcome back to Toronto. And then hopefully we can get everyone else that, like I said, I wanted back. So, it's not giving me the option to just resign them with bird rights, though, so I might have to wait. But I'm going to go look to see what point guard I can maybe go snag. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'm definitely going to look. So I'm trying to see if I can get Jalen Suggs off the Orlando Magic. Not exactly the guy I was kind of hinting at, but I do believe Suggs would be a really solid player to bring into Toronto. I thought they were going to draft him, of course, the year he went number 5. They took Barnes instead, of course. So Mitchell, Kyle Anderson, and Suggs is pretty cheap right now. So we're just throwing some expiring salaries together. Or I guess Mitchell's not expiring, but you get what I mean. I'll also offer Jamal Shed here, and I'll also offer a first-round pick in 2027. I mean, at this point, we're going all in, so we might as well just keep doing it. So, let's see what they say to this, and they don't agree to it. Unfortunately, I thought that would get done, but it did not. What if I throw in Oliver? That's probably not going to do anything for them. And then I'll throw in this guy. What do you say now? No. Still saying no. Another first team's kind of steep, but for getting Suggs, I don't mind it. Another second... And they do agree. So we're going all in to go win a championship. We're bringing Jalen Suggs. And if you notice, we didn't have to trade him in quickly to accomplish that. So Quickley might be here to stay, just maybe in a bench role. Or we could move Suggs to shooting guard as well. But I'm curious to see how much Trey Johnson develops before I make that decision. So the only thing we really need to do now is get our front court upgraded, which Isaac seems like a really nice signing. So I'm going to start with Jonathan Isaac. So I'm going to sign him, former Orlando Magic. And then Jalen Williams is probably our best option at this point to go get him. It said he was restricted, which it does say that. So, and it looks like we could just... No, we don't. We can't just sign him. So we have to wait. I don't know why 2K does that. Like, hey, he's restricted free agent, so you technically have his bird rights, but you can't sign him. I'm sorry. Like, what is the point of that? You got to fix that, 2K. It's like a small, annoying little thing, but still, I think it needs to be fixed. And he's back. Okay, so player progression. This is where I'm curious to see how things went. So Suggs up to an 86. Trey Johnson up to an 82. Exactly why I thought, we keep him at shooting guard, which I'm fine with. Grady Dick, 81. Isaac, 78. Jalen Williams up to a 78. And then Chomchi is down here developing very nicely as well. So got to keep that in mind. But this is the championship squad. We went after Suggs to try to complete that process. We got very, very close to the conference final, or to the NBA finals last year. We got to the conference finals. So I've pushed all my chips in. We gave up a lot to get Jalen Suggs. I've pushed my chips in the middle. I'm all in. And now I want to see if it pays off. Lately in 2K, it has not been paying off for me, though. Let's be honest. I've been really hurt with how things have gone towards my way. So hopefully things change today. We've gotten Jalen Suggs, Bam Adebayo added to this team. Quickley is still here. He'll be a really nice six-man candidate, in my opinion. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Got really close last year. It would feel really good to get a championship in the very third season. So 4-star balance. Could we be 4.5 anywhere? No. We'll leave it at balance. That seems to have been going well for us. And then we'll look at the rotation all together. So let's see what it's looking like. Let's see what we're running with. So they still want to keep Trey Johnson on the bench, which is fine. We got Suggs, Grady Dick, RJ, Barnes, Bam, Trey Johnson, Quickley, Jalen Williams, and Jonathan Isaac. To me, this is the team. And Abaji's out of the rotation right now. We got Norman Powell back in Toronto. Vibes are immaculate. Let's go complete this process. Let's bring home a championship to Toronto. Come on, let's do it. So at the end of this season, to me, we have the winning formula. We won 61 games, man. Come on, let's bring it home. Can I get a smooth championship in 2K? It feels like the most impossible task to me, and it just isn't. It shouldn't be. Bam Adebayo and Scotty Barnes both made all defensive team. Or no, they didn't. Barnes made it last year, but Bam makes it this year. So come on, man. Give me what I deserve. We got the first seed in the Eastern Conference. Here are your player stats. You had 24 from Barnes, 18 from Trey Johnson, 15 from RJ, 14 from Suggs, 14 from Bam. It's a collective unit out here. Let's go ahead and see if we can bring it home. We get Washington in round 1. Dyson Dills Below, Bruce Brown, Alexander Sarr, Kadeen, Kyle Kuzma, and Cole Anthony and Tristan. So somebody come around against Washington, and we are going to blow them out, beat them in 4. We're moving on to round 2. But now we get Detroit, which Detroit always seems to have, good players, of course, as we go along. They got the backcourt that obviously went number 1 and number 2 overall, respectfully, in the 2021 draft. So Green and Cade Cunningham have joined forces. And now we get to play like Asar, Jeremy Sohan, Daron Sharp. But we'll see, man. We'll see. This does look like a tough series, but hopefully we can take them down. And we beat them in 4. Okay, things are going smooth right now. But now we get Chicago, who we did beat last year, I believe, if I remember correctly. But they have Cooper Flagg, man. Cooper Flagg and Boozer, not to mention. So Cameron Boozer and Cooper Flagg, of course, back-to-back drafts feels good. That's nice, not going to lie. They got Alonzo still. They got Kobe White. Josh Giddey is there. All right, here we go. Somebody current around against Chicago, and we are in a 3-2 series. We got to close them out here. We're going to Game 6 in Chicago. I don't want to go to Game 7. Just come out here and win this one, please. Okay, it's looking good right now, but it is a close one. And we are going to be in the NBA Finals. Okay, we have made it to the NBA Finals. Now, can we complete the task of beating the Timberwolves? Rob Dillingham, Edwards McDaniels, Julius Randle, Naz Reid, Gobert, DiVincenzo, Rocky, and then Dario Saric. Allow me to simcast Game 1. I don't know why, but I'm feeling a simcasting of Game 1 just to kind of see how things go. So it looks like we had the lead for a second, but we are at home for these first 2 games. And we are going to win Game 1. So that's massive. We needed that. Let's see if we can go win Game 2 as well to, take care of home court. And if we can win one in Minnesota, that would be amazing. It's looking good right now for a Game 3 victory, but if we don't blow it, and we are going to blow them out for Game 2. Now, can we win a Game 3 or Game 4? Game 3 goes to us. No way. This might be something I haven't seen in a while, it feels like. And we sweep them. Oh my goodness, we finally did it. It shouldn't be this hard, but it is. You thought I couldn't do it, but I did it. We win a championship. And again, it shouldn't be something I'm celebrating that much, but dude, if you guys have watched my videos lately, it feels like I couldn't get anything to happen and go my way. We finally do. I'm going to end it on that good note right there. Scotty Barnes is your Finals MVP. Again, championships shouldn't be that hard in 2K, which technically they're not. Like, guys, I say this all the time. If people, comment, they're like, why don't you just sign Luka or trade for all the 90s in the world? Like, yeah, that's easy to do. I could do that every freaking day. I could trade for all the 99s in the world and go win championship after championship. That is easy. That is not fun for me. That is my problem. I try to do it in a realistic way. Obviously, not everything is like completely realistic. There's some things that I do that are like they don't seem plausible, but like it's not out of this world unrealistic in my opinion what I'm trying to accomplish here. So that's my downfall sometimes, but other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna end it on that note. After that rant and after this championship, I'm gonna go I don't know, shower myself with freaking wine or champagne, whatever they say, and I'm gonna end on that. All right, I'm done. This is Crushables. I'll see you on the next one. I'm saying Peace.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.